The thing I started doing is just always bring the kid with you. Always, I'll take him, and then the mom is like, "Fuck, great," because your kid is great company. They're great. They're really fun to be with. If you go out, I used to love going out shopping for 50 things. As long as I had my daughter with me, she's just somebody to talk to.
Right. And you see the world through their eyes.
Yeah, you get to show your kid like I used to go to the supermarket, which I used to hate doing. Yeah. But I'm like, I take a watermelon off the shelf and put it in her lap. Look at this. It's a fucking watermelon. You never seen one of those before, have you? And she's got this green. She's never seen I handed her first watermelon and watched her look at it and go, Jesus.
That's amazing.
And she just held it in her lap.
I
always
see Travis
gave her
laughing his ass off, too, because Travis is a new dad. We're relatively new, 2-year-old.
2-year-old. Yeah, that's right.
So Travis gets this, too.
I always gave my daughter access to the real world. I don't believe in, like, toys are shit. Toys are, like, fake things.
So, but a watermelon is like, holy shit, that's a watermelon.
Or just give her your computer. Just, here, take this. Just give her fucking movie cameras and shit to just hold. And,
see, whenever I see kids doing that, all I can think of is they're going to break it. They're going to fuck it up.
They might. I might break it.
I think
that's true.
I don't take care of my shit anyway.
Following your logic, like you don't have a connection to the kids, so it's hard to explain.
Right.
Like you just see like other people's kids, and you're like, why would you do that? But as soon as your son is born, your life changes fucking instantly. Yeah. And it's hard to explain to anyone. And then maybe some of the stuff you miss, like we used to go down to the Caribbean every year. This year we didn't go.
Yeah.
I miss it, yes. But like Louis says, it's sort of pushed down though. I'm not craving it like, fuck, I can't believe we didn't go this year. It's okay.
Yeah.
And it's just okay.
See, that was my point. Like, that's okay.
Yeah, but we're going to go next year, and I'm going to bring the kid, and I know we're going to have a great time.
Everything they do that fucks with you is positive in the end. Like my kids, when they'd wake me up at 6, I went to sleep at 3 because I'm a night person. Well, they wake me up, and the feeling in my brain would hurt a lot. Like, I don't want to fucking be up right now. Yeah. But within 10 minutes, we're talking. I'm talking to them. And they're in the morning, they got a good attitude in the morning. I've got one eye open, and I'm going, yeah, what? Daddy, I had a dream. Okay, what? And I'm just listening to it. And then I'm like, wow, you had that dream? That is, then you're getting into conversation with your kid, and they're nice to you. I mean, some people have a contrary relationship with their kids. Yeah. And they are always, Dad! Like those kind of kids.
Yeah.
Fucking, I would tap right out of that life. I'd fucking dye my hair and get the fuck out. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Both of my girls and I have really good and the little one and I, we fight sometimes and it's contentious, but never feels like a bad fun.
Yeah.
It's also when your kid is being an asshole, it feels good to know you're there to correct it and to say, nah, you're not. Like when I lock horns with my daughter, she wants something and I'm not going to give it to her and she's crying, I feel great.
Really?
Yeah. I feel great that I'm there showing her, you don't get that. You don't get to have it. And why? There's not a good reason. You just don't.
You just don't because I said so.
You just don't.
And there's no embarrassment in public places with temper tantrums and
couldn't
stuff.
Care less. No,
you couldn't care less.
Yeah, I don't think
shut
I'm going
the world out
either.
You don't care
because I hate that. I look around and when kids are being like loud and stuff, I don't mind. I do mind all the time. But there are certain places I understand. Like, all right, I'm in a mall. There's a kid, he doesn't want to be here. He's going to be yelling and screaming. I could get away from the situation. But there are other places, movie theaters, things where I'm like, shut that fucking kid up or take him the fuck out of the movie. You're missing the movie. Take your kid out, pick him up, go out to the lobby and fix that problem. Well, but if
the kid is the same, I mean, the kid, I always, though, also remember that your kid is a citizen of the country, too. Your kid has rights. Like, I go crazy when people, like, fucking knee my kid in the face because they're not looking.
Holy shit!
They don't give. A lot of people don't give a shit, and it's like my kid has fucking rights. So to me, it's like the kid who's yelling in a movie theater is no different than the fucking dirty Hispanics you were talking about. It's the same thing. They're just being loud assholes. The kid is. Yeah.
Don't you think you could avoid some of that stuff by raising them properly, though? I know you're not gonna be perfect, but
yeah, I don't think
my kid's gonna be acting up in.
No, my kids wouldn't do that. Yeah? You can tell when you look at the parent that they're weak.
Yes,
and that they don't do it at home. They don't try. They get underwater with it.
They're allowing too much.
Yeah, I don't
too much.
No, my kids don't. They don't make a scene. They generally don't.
Yeah,
and if they quiet. And also the other thing is, people get too bent on getting through their day the way they planned it. So when your kid explodes and you're trying to push through the day, I cancel everything.
Yeah.
If we're getting into a hairy thing with one of the kids, I just put everything down on the sidewalk and sit on the sidewalk and go, "We're not going now."
See, you have this.
Let's talk about this. That's because I don't have. That's because I'm not married.
Yeah.
I get to do that.
Wow.
If you're married, you got to fucking plan everything. This is again, if you're getting along, this isn't a bad marriage.
Right.
You have to plan everything. You have to agree on every fucking detail of how something's going to go down, and you have to stick to your plans. That's a nightmare. I took my kids camping a couple weeks ago, and the reason it worked is because I was able to do it myself, and I had the power to pull the plug on the whole thing.
You did your way.
Yeah, I said let's just get in the car and just go south. And I went to a sporting goods store with the girls, and I'm buying a tent and sleeping bags, and like, "Are we going camping?" And I was like, "We might." I said, "I don't know yet. I haven't decided if this is going to happen. We're going to buy these things. We may or may not use them." So we put all this shit in the trunk, the camping stuff, and we drove. In my head, I was like, I didn't have a place to stop. I didn't use a map. I just fucking drove down the Jersey Shore. And we saw a hotel, so let's stay there tonight. Stayed in a hotel. Next day, I always had the option to just run back home.
It's like you're on the lam.
Yeah, exactly. Found a ferry that goes to Delaware from New Jersey in Cape May, and this beautiful ferry boat. Just found it. Went to Cape May.
I'm all about that.
Oh,
I don't like a plan.
It was so good.
I just want to jump in the car and go sometimes.
And the kids don't know, and they don't give a shit. And then there's a state park. I see a sign for a state park, and I go, "Hey, do you want to go camping and sleep in a tent tonight?" And they're like, "Yeah." And so I pull over. But again, as I'm putting them, I never looked at the instructions for the tent. I opened the tent at the campsite.
Yeah.
And as I start building it in my head, I'm like, if this gets gnarly, there's a fucking hotel 10 minutes from here. We'll just go to the hotel.
Kept it
safe. But we did it. We spent the night in the middle of the wilderness.
Yeah.
A 6 and a 9-year-old. And there's a well with a pump, and they were cleaning and making. We made dinner. It was fucking amazing. It was one of the greatest nights I ever spent on earth.
It's the best way to do things. I was recently in Philly for a birthday party. And we had to go all the way up to Rochester to hang out, at Brother Weese's place. He has a cottage on the bay. So we're leaving, and my wife goes, "Where are we staying tonight?" And we were leaving at 8:30 at night. I go, "I don't know yet, but I'll figure it out." And to me, that was really exciting.
Yeah.
I know there's a million motels out there. We're not going to sleep in our car.
No.
But I don't know where we're sleeping yet.
No.
I don't know how many hours I want to drive. We might drive all the way.
Yep.
I might get a cup of coffee and just make it all the way to Rochester. Or we might stop in an hour because I'm like, fuck this, or maybe 3 hours. And it's freeing.
See, that is. It's great. I mean, that's what with my girls, I called it a road trip. We just said, we're on the road. We're not going. Where are we going? I don't know.
Yeah. No real
we just went on a road trip. And because they're not fucking nosy grown-ups.
They don't have to know.
Well, how far is it? Where are we going? Can you just find out? Can you call? They're just in the back seat reading and having a good time. And then once in a while, I'd stop and go, "Get out here. What is this? It's a national preserve. Look at the birds." They're like, "Wow." And then we're camping. We fucking camp. We wake up. We break camp. And then next thing you know they're in Washington, D.C. They had no idea how close they were. I'm like, this is the nation's capital. Look at Abraham Lincoln. They're like, "Oh, my God." And I wrote my manager right before I left because I thought I might be in D.C. to say, "Do you know anybody at the White House?" It's like, do I have any connection to the White House? But they didn't know this. If I had a wife, I think I might be able to. Do you really know anybody? Did you get us the thing at the White House? But that morning I woke up. The morning we got to D.C. and they said, "We got you a tour with one of Obama's speechwriters has a fucking he wants to get into comedy."
Oh shit! So you had to listen to his.
Yeah, so I just take my daughters to the White House. They have no idea. Just come on, just come over here. And we go up to the gate, and I tell my name, and they open the gate to the fucking White House. And we walked in and had a personal tour. by this dude.
And looking at it from a kid's perspective, that's way better.
It's a great day
because he has they have no idea what's going to happen.
But they also don't have an idea that is an amazing dad right there.
Oh, yeah.
That is like
I went to the White House.
Super dad just took him camping, White House, friggin' a hand pump. That's great shit.
It was insane.
And that's not like, oh, fuck, all right, let's go,
But anyway,
let's go to the mall, buy some shoes.
Exactly. What Louis teaching, it's not like everything has to be planned and stuff. You could just go with it, even though, like in my case, as a 14-month-old, you would think maybe we should have a planned fucking
And that's the thing I
setup.
always thought, like, okay, and from hearing, spontaneity, like, disappears when you have kids.
Well,
but
sure,
you just, like, that,
if you're on your own,
is the ultimate in spontaneity.
You can do it, and they don't know how. I mean, I'm sort of looking ahead a day, and I'm looking at possibilities. I'm using my iPhone and finding shit.
Sure.
But if the White House thing had fallen through, they never would have known it was even on tap.
Yeah, right. No disappointment.
No, you just okay, we got this. Come on over here.
Yeah,
let's do this.
You could have gone to the park across the street and look at homeless people, and that would have been cool too.
And then at the end of the whole trip, we had to drive home. So it was like 5-hour drive.
Yeah,
and I told them, you're going to pay for the trip now. It's 5 hours driving through fucking New Jersey. It's not going to be in Delaware.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but that's payment.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's worth